and those providing round-the-clock care. I am also here on the behalf of 66,000 workers that make up all of SEIU Healthcare Michigan. Come on, put your hands together for that. SEIU Local 1, SEIU 515, SEIU 526. For lots of workers today, it starts, amen, with a poll, amen, polling, amen, opening the polls. Some of us work all night. Some of us work 12-hour shifts. Some of us are going back to work right now. But tonight, we are here to celebrate. Are you here to celebrate? I'm here to celebrate because of everything that Michigan workers have poured into this campaign. Jocelyn Benson is our nominee for the governor of Michigan. Woo! Give her a round of applause. I work as a telemetry tech at the Detroit Medical Center. Healthcare workers know that caring for people does not end at the end of a shift. Neither does building a better Michigan. Every day, we meet families caring for impossible burdens. We see patients that wait too long to seek care because they cannot afford it. We see seniors choosing between prescriptions and groceries. We see families wondering how they're going to make their ends meet to cover child care, keep the lights on, and make ends meet. And many healthcare workers face these same choices. We are working harder every day, but we're still falling behind. That's why this election is very important. Don't you believe that? Isn't this election important? It's important to everyday working people. I am determined, and we are determined to strive to build a better Michigan, and it will pay off in the long run. It will determine whether we have affordable health care, whether we'll be able to put money back in our pockets, or whether the politicians will have money. SEIU proudly stands behind Jocelyn Benson because we understand that she knows the needs of working people and how to help our needs and help us to succeed as Michigan workers. And that's why we're standing here today as we elect her as our next governor. Tonight, we celebrate an incredible milestone. Tonight, we will build a better movement that will carry us to victory in November. Because our union members know what victory means. It's not handed to us. We have to fight for it. Because when we fight, we win. Do you win when you fight? And now I am so excited because we are here on the cusp of a great victory. So please keep your fire burning for Jocelyn Benson. Thank you.
Please welcome your mayor of Detroit, Mary Sheffield.
All right, good evening. You all make some noise for our next governor, Jocelyn Benson. Come on, this is a party, right? There we go, there we go. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be with each and every one of you all tonight as we celebrate this important moment for our city and our state. And it is my honor to be here to introduce someone I am proud to call a friend, a colleague, a loving mother, and a fearless leader. Give it up for that. She is a true leader. When I took office as mayor of this great city just 7 months ago, yes, I knew that we were going to need strong partners in Lansing who were committed to getting things done. And serving in this role as mayor has really strengthened that belief. Because now more than ever, at a time when so many of our rights, our freedoms, our beliefs are being challenged, this is not a moment for hesitation. This is a moment for courage, a moment for conviction, and we need leaders like Jocelyn who will fight for the people, who will stand with the people, and who will deliver for the people. Not just for the wealthy and the well-connected, but every hard-working Michigander. I've known Jocelyn my entire time in public office, and every time I've called her, she's been there. She's been accessible, she's been honest, she's been thoughtful, and she's always been ready to roll up her sleeves and help. She has consistently demonstrated her commitment to Detroit, to our residents, and to communities across this state. The daughter of public school teachers, Detroit is where she chose to build her life. She could have chose anywhere else. It is where she and her husband are raising their son. And it is a city she never stopped fighting for. From her earliest days as a law clerk under Detroit's own, the late Judge Damon J. Keith, she learned a lesson that shaped the course of her career. Judge Keith famously said, "Democracies die behind closed doors." And those words reinforced her belief that public service is a sacred trust rooted in transparency, accountability, and an unwavering commitment to the people they serve. And she has carried those values throughout her entire career. As Michigan's 43rd Secretary of State, she transformed one of the most state's frustrating it was, bureaucracies into a national model of efficiency, accessibility, and service. Yes. Whew. So much easier, right? Going to the Secretary of State. She helped make Michigan a national leader in fair and secure elections. She defended the integrity of our democracy when it was tested. And she proved that government can work better when people are first. I've watched Jocelyn lead with conviction. I've watched her meet adversity with courage. And I've watched her remain steadfast in her commitment to doing what is right, even when it wasn't easy. That is the kind of leader Michigan deserves. And if there is one thing that I know and I've learned about Jocelyn Benson, it is this: she never backs down from a challenge. After all, we know she's completed over 40 marathons, including one while she was 8 months pregnant. And for her, marathons have never been about just crossing a finish line. They're about perseverance, about resilience, about believing that no challenge is too great and no finish line is ever reached without courage and determination. And now she is running another marathon, a marathon to lower cost and raise wages for Michigan families, to create opportunity for every community, a marathon to make life more affordable, from the grocery store to the gas pump, from the doctor's office to the cost of housing, and to build a state where our children can afford to stay, to build their futures and raise their families right here in Michigan. A marathon towards a stronger and more prosperous Michigan. And that is why tonight we all stand here hopeful. Hopeful because of her leadership, hopeful because of her vision, and hopeful because of her unwavering belief that Michigan's best days are still ahead of us. And the marathon continues, but this time we are all running alongside her. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor and privilege to introduce my friend, our Democratic nominee for governor and the next governor of the great state of Michigan, Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson.
Michigan! I am so thrilled to stand before you as the Democratic Party's nominee to be the next governor of Michigan. Thank you. Thank you all for being a part of this moment, for being a part of our team. Thank you for placing your trust in me to work for you and with you to transform our state. Tonight, the general election begins. Tonight marks our opportunity to grow our coalition to include citizens in every corner of our state who believe, as we do, that the power of the people must always be greater than the people in power. My life's work is about making that promise, that hope, a reality. I carry that hope with me every day as the daughter of public school teachers, the wife of a combat veteran, as the mom of a 10-year-old little boy whose future will be shaped by what we do now together. Because that is the question facing voters this fall, my friends. Who do you want Michigan's leaders to work for? The people or the powerful? Well, you all know who I'll work for. I will work for all of you and every Michigander in this state. Not the highest bidder, not corporate interests, not Donald Trump, you. So I'm here tonight asking you to work with me to build a government together whose leaders work for the people. A government that saves us time, saves us money, and makes our life easier. A government led by a trifecta of state leaders who are committed to working together to make Michigan a place where anyone can afford to live and thrive, where childcare is affordable for all, where homes are easily built so that teachers and nurses and farmers can afford to live in the communities where they work, where every Michigander has access to quality health care and water that is safe to drink and air that is clean to breathe and a public education system that prepares our children for the jobs of the future. As the next governor of Michigan, I will work with you to drive down costs while expanding our economy. And yes, I will work with anyone to get that done. But I will also be ready to stand up to anyone, no matter how wealthy or powerful, who gets in our way. I've done that as Secretary of State, and I'm ready to do it as governor. I love this state, and I know when I talk to the single mom in Muskegon who has to decide, Mayor Mohammed, who has to decide whether to eat or pay rent, or when I sit down with seniors in Warren who are anxious about paying for medicine on a fixed income, I know we must do right by them. Just the other day, I sat down with a new mom and dad right here in Detroit, and I held their newborn little girl in my arms. And I listened as they talked to me about how they don't want their child to grow up in poverty. And as a mom, I can't stop thinking about that conversation, about how every decision we make now will shape the world that their little girl and my little boy and all of our children will grow up in. And in the eyes of that little girl's mom and dad, I saw two people who simply wanted what every parent wants, a chance for their child to grow up healthy, happy, and safe. to live in a state where she can get a world-class public education, afford to see a doctor when she needs one, get reproductive care because it is her right, build a career she loves, and live in a home that she can afford and not have to work 5 jobs in order to do it all. Right? It is our job to deliver that for her and for every person in this state. That's what it means to have leaders, a governor who works for the people. I will work for the veteran who deserves access to the health care they earned, the teachers who dedicate their lives to preparing our children for the future and who deserve pay and more respect. For the children whose futures depend on the work that we do today. Our campaign is about them and all of you. Costs down, wages up, rights protected, end corruption, and build a government that works for all of us. And again, you all know I'll work with anyone and everyone to get that done, but I'm also unafraid to stand up to anyone who gets in our way. And this moment demands leaders who will stand up with courage, unafraid to bullies. And boy, boy, do I know how to do that. Like when Donald Trump tried to pressure me into turning over your private voting information, I said no, and I'll see you in court. And I won. I want you to know that even if it means sheltering in my home, protecting my son, while people with guns protest on my front lawn, I am not afraid to stand up to anyone who would try to take away your rights and freedoms. And that, again, will be the choice facing Michigan's voters this fall. Who does your governor work for? What does she stand for? And who does she fight for? The Republicans have already shown us their vision for Michigan. It's a vision that would raise healthcare costs instead of lowering them, a vision that would allow housing costs to climb instead of fighting to bring them down, and a party whose leaders stood with Donald Trump when he tried to overturn a free and fair election and instead of standing with the people of Michigan. That is not the future that Michigan wants or needs. And together, we're going to reject it this November. Because the bottom line to me is this: Michigan deserves a governor who answers to the people, not corporations, not to the DeVos family, and not to Donald Trump. And my friends, I'll just say, Michiganders voted in this primary, which, by the way, is on track to be one of the highest turnout primary elections in state history. They voted in this primary because they are asking us to fight for them, to stand up for them, to fix what is broken for them. And I am committed as the next governor of Michigan to make sure we deliver. But I cannot do it alone. I need your help to get this done. I'm asking you tonight to knock those doors, make those calls, talk to your neighbors, leave here tonight ready to remind people what is at stake and what is possible when we come together. Let's take tonight's landslide victory and let's deliver another one this fall. I'm going to ask you tonight, as the eyes of the nation are on Michigan, right? I'm asking you to show the nation who we are, what we stand for, and who we are fighting for. So I'm going to ask you, like I asked you in 2018, like I asked you in 2022, are you ready to work for democracy? Are you ready to fight for democracy? Are you ready to vote for democracy? Well, let's get it done and let's go win. Thank you, guys. I love you.